Hey guys, my name is Rachel and today I'm going to be doing a look for you that is inspired by the 1970s star Farrah Fawcett. Now she always had this very beautiful bronze glowing look like she just stepped off the beach. Her skin is a little bit more tan than mine, so we are going to do our best with bronzer. Thankfully there are some fantastic ones out there. So this is the final look. It is just a glowy look with a little bit of shimmer, not a ton, with a neutral pinkish lip and a neutral brown eye, just with a little bit of definition, and some bronze eyeliner and some feathery lashes. So I hope you guys will stay tuned and I hope that you enjoy the look. She always had a very fresh, natural look. So I already prepped my skin with the B.Kamins moisturizer, the calming lotion. As always, the links to everything that I'm using are going to be down below. And since she always looked so natural and glowy, I didn't want to do anything that's going to be really matte or heavy. So I'm actually going to do a mixture of a foundation and a little bit more moisturizer, a different moisturizer. So I'm actually going to use the Ole Henriksen. It's the Sheer Transformation. It's just a light moisturizer. It's oil-free. And I'm going to do that with the Giorgio Armani. It's in the 5.5. It's the Luminous Silk Foundation. So I'm going to mix a little bit of that with a little bit of moisturizer. And I'm also going to use a little bit more of the Giorgio Armani. This one is the fluid sheer. It's the bronzy stuff. So I am going to use, this is in the color 10. So I'm going to use about an equal amount of that and foundation, and then just a little bit of moisturizer. And I'm going to be mixing it together on my hand, and I'm applying it with a Beauty Blender sponge because I want it to be a really light face. So I am applying it all over. I normally would use some kind of a pressed powder or something, a translucent powder. I'm going to skip that step completely, again, because I just want to keep it very light. I'm going to use a bronzer, but I'm actually going to use this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Pressed Mineral Powder, and it's in the shade Medium, and it's 8. And it is just a color, it's just a little bit darker than my natural skin color. So I'm going to use this all over with my Shu Uemura 20B Goat brush. It's just a big fluffy powder brush. So I'm going to apply this all over my face, again, just to kind of give me some more color. I'm going to do just a little bit of contouring, nothing crazy. I'm actually going to be using a little bit of it's the Bronze A Go-Go by Jane Iredale. And normally I would do this underneath my foundation, but this is just going to be a really light effect. I don't want it to be anything heavy. Now I'm going to apply it all along my jawline here. Not really on my chin as much, more on the sides. And I'm going to apply it underneath my cheekbones a little bit. And I'm going to do it a little bit up here just to kind of almost give the effect that I've been out in the sun all day, all week, all month. I'm going to use a overall shimmery powder. I'm going to use the same brush I just used, the Jane Iredale, and I'm going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Dim Light. It's a light shimmery powder, and it just gives you an overall glow. It's not going to add very much color. I've already got the color I want on my face. This is just for an overall glow. And I'm going to apply this everywhere, all over my face. I am going to apply just a little bit of highlighter, nothing crazy. I just, again, keeping with the glow theme. So I'm just going to apply a little bit. Again, I would normally do this underneath of my foundation, but I just want to add a little bit extra. I don't want it to be super, super defined face. So adding a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to use a Giorgio Armani. It's a little foundation brush. It is number 13. And I'm going to use this to just kind of blend out my highlighter and blend it into the rest of my makeup. She always had kind of, she definitely had, her lashes were defined, but it was more of a feathery, again, her whole look was very natural. It just looked like she got up looking that amazing. She hung out on the beach all day. So going with that theme, I'm going to use Maybelline Full and Soft Mascara in the color Very Black. I'm going to begin by curling my lashes for kind of 15. I'm pulling my lashes a little bit out as I'm doing this, toward the outer part, so it kind of opens the eye that way. And I'm going to be using the Tweezerman lash comb just to separate all the lashes so we get that definition. Okay, now for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using 3 colors. I'm going to be using 2 Clinique shadows. The first one I'm using as a base and also as a highlighter. It's the color Daybreak. It's a light, you can see it's a light, kind of a warm ivory whitish color. And I'm going to be using that over my entire lid, and then I'm also going to be using it as a highlighting color underneath my brows. I'm going to pat this all over my eye. So the next color I'm going to be doing is another Clinique color. It's called Buttered Bronze. It's just a medium brown color. It's a warm brown. So I'm going to be applying this right into my crease, and I'm going to be using a Hakuhodo 5529 brush. It's just a small brush that'll help me get that color concentrated right into my crease. I want to keep this overall a soft look, so I'm not going to be applying a ton of it. I'm applying this right in my crease, but I'm also going just a little bit above it, but not really on my lid too much. Now I'm going to blend this just a little bit before I go on, and I'm going to be using a MAC 217 brush, just blending it a little bit, just to soften it even more than it is. I'm going to be using, it's a pinkish gold color. I am using the color Kitten Heel. It's a shimmery color by Lancome. It's a really pretty summery color, you can see. It's got a lot of gold shimmer. It's hard to see it, but it's really pretty. And I'm going to be patting this all over my lid. I am going to be doing a little bit of liner, but I didn't want a heavily lined eye, but I do want to define my lashes. So I'm going to use a black Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes eyeliner pencil. I'm going to do my upper lashes, but I'm only going to do them underneath the lash. So if you just lift up just really gently, I'm going to be pressing it right into my lash line under there. So I get the definition without the made-up look. And underneath my eye, I am going to do a little bit more liner, but I'm going to be using a bronze color. So it'll define it a little bit, but it's not going to give it a heavy look. So I'm going to be using another Makeup Forever. This is in the color 10L. It's bronze. Yeah, bronze. So I'm going to be going right from the very corner of my lash, the outer corner, and carrying it in. Now, she really didn't carry her liner all the way in most of the time. So I'm just going to kind of stop there, and then I'll just smudge it in a little bit. I'm just going to take a Nars, it's number 15, it's a smudge brush. I'm just going to smudge that right into my lashes. Carry it over just a little bit. Take a little cotton swab, and I'm just going to clean up a little bit right underneath. I am going to apply my mascara on the bottom now. I'm just going to go through those with my lash comb really quickly. Now for just a tiny, tiny bit of concealer, I am going to use a little bit of the MAC Select Cover-Up. It's in the color NC20. I'm only going to apply this right under my eyes, only a little bit, and I'm going to use the Hakuhodo J122R brush. So her brows were a very true medium brown, and they weren't super heavy, and they were pretty thin. They're thinner than mine, so I'm actually just going to take the color that we used, the eyeshadow that we used, in the color Buttered Bronze by Clinique. I'm going to take a MAC 208 brush. It's just a small eyeliner brush. And I'm just going to use some of this, and I'm going to, again, to just keep my eyebrows as thin as possible, I'm going to concentrate the color at the center of my eyebrow. And I'm just going to kind of brush them into place as I do that. Even at the center, I'm just keeping it I want it to look really natural, so I'm not even really going to define them in the center as much as I normally would. I am going to be using the color Orgasm by Nars, and I'm going to be using a Hakuhodo. It's a J110 brush. It's just a really big, fluffy blush brush. She had it's more of a wash of color. It's not super concentrated, so I'm going to just kind of sweep this along right above my cheekbone. But again, I want to kind of replicate the look like I've been in the sun. So just bigger sweeps. Her lips are pretty neutral. I wanted it to look really summery and pinkish bronzy. So I'm going to start by lining the lips in a really neutral nude color. This is kind of the color of my lips, a little bit darker. This is the Aqua lip. It's in the color 1C. It's a nude. So I'm just going to line my lips right along the line, the natural lip line, and carry it in just a little bit more, because this isn't going to be most of the color that's on the lips. I'm going to be using a Cremesheen Glass lip gloss by MAC, and this is in the color Richer Lusher. It's a peachish pink color, very light and summery. So I'm going to apply this all over my lips. Take just my bronzer. I'm going to just do a little overall, if there's any place that you see you think could use a little bit more, just to set everything, and again, keep it looking, really natural. I'm going to use just a thermal spring water by La Roche Posay, just to make everything stay but keep it, from looking powdery. I think it's a really beautiful look. It's very great for summer, even for spring. I think it's a really good daytime look, but also you could add some more eyeliner, make the eye makeup a little bit darker with some darker browns for nighttime. And I think it's a great, beautiful look, and I hope that you guys find it wearable. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.